Hi, I'm Bruce Weinstein, and this is the YouTube cooking channel, Cooking with Bruce and Mark. Today, I'm making something extraordinary, a peanut butter instant pot cheesecake. Look how beautiful that is. Let's get started. I'll show you how to make this. You can see I have a food processor in front of me and not a stand mixer. And why is that? Well, most people have food processors like I do. This is a relatively small one, and it will emulsify and smooth out this batter so beautifully, and it'll fit perfectly in our 7-inch springform, which is going into our Instant Pot. And I would prefer a batter that's as smooth and dense as possible. A mixer will put a lot of air in it. This won't put a lot of air. That's what also helps give your cheesecake a richness and a creaminess from the Instant Pot that you can't beat. How are we starting? With cream cheese. Don't use fat-free. Don't even use low fat. This is a cheesecake. It's meant to be indulgent. This is 1 pound or 450 grams of full-fat cream cheese. To that, we're going to add 1/3 cup each, or 70 grams of dark brown sugar and white granulated sugar. And you can't have a peanut butter cheesecake without peanut butter. 2/3 of a cup, or 175 grams of smooth peanut butter. Don't use chunky. Look, I'm a chunky peanut butter guy. The only kind of peanut butter I eat is chunky. But what I don't like is cheesecake that's smooth and rich with bits of stuff in it. So I want a smooth peanut butter for this. Okay, we have 2 teaspoons or 10 milliliters of vanilla. We have 1/2 cup or 120 milliliters of heavy cream. In the UK, I believe they call that double cream. So that goes in. We have 2 whole large eggs. Now let me say, the eggs are at room temperature. So is that cream cheese. Why is that? If you try and whir this food processor up with ice cold cream cheese, you're going to have lumps that aren't going to spin around very easily. So room temperature, and it'll go beautifully. We have about 16 grams, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, all plain flour. A little bit of flour always helps the cheesecake set up. And on we go. Even though everything was at room temperature, I just want to make sure it went smoothly and there are no big chunks. I see there's still some bits of cream cheese, so we're going to whir this up one more time because you need this batter to be as smooth and creamy as possible. And again, with the food processor, we're really not putting any air in here, so I'm not worried about overbeating it. That is as smooth and creamy and perfect as possible. So now I'm going to get the pan in here, show you how to make the crust, and we'll get this cooking. I love doing a chocolate cookie crust for a peanut butter cheesecake. And the way I do it is I take Oreo cookies, plain old Oreo cookies. I put them in a food processor and I ground them up into this beautiful fine crumb. And I have here a 7-inch springform pan, which I have sprayed with baking spray. The ground up Oreos go right into the pan. I'm going to spread them across the bottom and just halfway up the sides. I don't want them to come all the way up the sides because I want to be able to see the layers of the crust and the cheesecake when it's done. I want you to notice how much batter there is. This is a lot. It's almost coming to the top of the springform pan. Normally, if you bake a cheesecake in the oven, you don't fill it up this high. But I like to do this way up to the top and have a beautiful tall cheesecake. It's also the reason I'm not going to cover it when it goes into the Instant Pot. I know that a lot of people cover their cheesecakes before they put them in the Instant Pot. I don't. As you can see, there's a lot of batter, and the batter is going to rise up under pressure. It's going to fill up and rise and expand, and I don't want it to touch any covering and get all misshapen in there. This pot has 1.5 cups of water and a rack inside. I'm going to put the cheesecake on top of the rack. I'm going to seal the pot, give it 25 minutes at high pressure, and we'll do a natural release. So the cheesecake had 25 minutes at high pressure, a natural release. I opened it, and there was a little bit of water on the top. And I know that's why a lot of people cover their cheesecakes. They don't like to see that water condensation drip on top. You know what? That's perfectly fine. I took a paper towel and just dabbed it off. Then I let it cool 1 hour before I put it in the fridge. And why did I do that? To keep it from cracking. If you put a hot cheesecake in the refrigerator, it has a tendency to crack. So this one went in after it cooled down. Now we're going to unmold it. And this is the first time I'm unmolding. Look at that. See, that's exactly what I wanted. The chocolate cookie crumbs that come halfway up, that beautiful beige cheesecake around it. Now, what I like to do on this peanut butter cheesecake with a chocolate cookie crumb is I like to mix together 2 teaspoons or 15 grams each of cocoa powder and powdered sugar. And I put that right over the top. Oh, I like to sprinkle that through a little. Oh. Now, I know somebody's looking at this and saying, the top is bumpy, but that didn't work. When you're cooking under pressure, things rise, things move. It's like a whole lava field going on inside your Instant Pot. So the cheesecake is not always going to come out flat, and that's perfectly fine. I've seen a lot of postings online where people say, oh, my cheesecake was ruined. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a cheesecake that has a little bump like that. This is going to be just, oh, it's creamy. The texture cutting into this is just amazing. There's nothing like a cheesecake done in the Instant Pot. If you've never done it, oh, look at that. It's not, oh, I didn't cut it quite perfectly enough. It's not quite a mousse. It's not quite a New York style cheesecake. It's something in between, something that's creamy and rich and not too chewy. And if you have an Instant Pot, you need to make an Instant Pot cheesecake like this peanut butter cheesecake with a chocolate cookie crust. For a list of all the ingredients, just click more info right below this video and you'll see all the ingredients to this recipe. And like this video, please, I'm begging you, like this video and subscribe to this cooking channel on YouTube, Cooking with Bruce and Mark. And you won't miss a single recipe that Mark Scarborough and I do in the whole series of deep digs on everything from root beer to chili oil. And check out our podcast, also called Cooking with Bruce and Mark. But wherever you find us, we're happy to see you here at Cooking with Bruce and Mark.